And I feel like the Nyx wasn't picked up there. Oh, a Razor instead, okay.
Dude, how have you not spoken about the Tusk? I thought as soon as
I'm just trying to blank it out of my mind. Don't try and trigger me here.
dude, I thought
It could be a Tusk 5. It could be a Tusk 5. You never know.
Yeah, I honestly don't hate a Tusk Dusseline. I think there's better carries to pair with, but I feel like more than likely it's a Gacha Boy. I think one hero though for
Don't say it.
Patriots.
Do you think it is now? Can it be now against a Razor? It could be a Razor mid, right? You can't run a Tusk into that.
No, it's gonna be a Razor 3, I imagine.
Is it?
Yep.
Is it?
Yep, they've done this. The games Patriots have looked the best on is when Delaw's on the Razor. They've won, I think, the past 2 games. Let's see. He played it versus Neon. They won in 90 minutes. He dumpstered. He played it versus Lilgun. They won that in 27 minutes. He dumpstered that game as well. Did they win?
Can you say it's a 90-minute dumpstering?
19,
like
19,
Oh,
19.
Okay. I thought you said 19. I'm like, is that dumpstering? Not 100% sure. I don't know. If they've got the last pick overall, right? So they're gonna know if this Tusk is mid or not. Surely you run the Razor into the Tusk. I think it'd be madness to not do that. Even pos 1 into a Mars. Like, it's not as good, of course, because you're just able to get speared away, but
Radiant team ban.
CK pretty strong into that. Have you seen much Nyx ever since the change? It's actually pretty noticeable. The
All right, yeah, the
impale width.
I think I saw one game. Oh, I'm looking at 7.31. It's just the width and the mana reduction?
It's more the width for mine. It's just so much easier to hit the stuns. Previously, even though he loves playing it, UK did miss a few that we saw at times.
Hey.
This is the Shadow Demon that we were talking about in the previous series, being banned out against the Razor, one of the bigger counters to it, so I like that. Is there anything else? Oh, Wyvern. Give me a Wyvern. Please, 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 please give me a Wyvern. Against a Razor, it's great, just cursing him. Against a CK, great, just curse literally anything and it explodes. So give me the Winter Wyvern.
A bad lane, Juicer Wyvern. No. That's not a good lane, but yeah, I do like it for the game.
Yeah.
They ban out Storm as well, so still not sure if this Tusk is going to be flexed. I think it's a Gacha Boy Tusk. I think you're looking for a way to help do so, but going for like a melee support into the what I really think is like 90% a Delul Razor is going to be a bit awkward here for Motivate.
Yeah, I mean, it's just awkward all throughout, to be honest, this Motivate draft, to be honest. Like, I know they got their comfort super early on. I'm still not sold on the Tusk bit. I'm not sure why teams keep committing into it. It's just one of these heroes that you need to do everything perfectly on. And at the moment, they've got plenty of ways to be able to punish it.
I want to stun from Motivate. I think if you're going for your support here, I want to stun for the Medusa lane just whenever the Razor gets aggressive. Stun him. Medusa can run away and hope that is enough and that Patriots don't stun the Medusa back. Or they go for... I don't hate this hero. It's a bit vulnerable into the Nyx and they do have some control afterwards, but the big reason why you pick Quap is just because that now you cannot put Razor mid. Quap is the best lane matchup and game matchup against the Razor.
So what you're saying is it's not a Tusk?
What? Yeah, it's Quap.
You're saying I'm right. You're saying I'm right. You're saying the Tusk was never mid, even though you were sure that it was Gacha Boy.
Well, who knows? Could be a position 5 Queen of Pain.
Please no. Please no.
What are we looking for on Patriots?
I mean, Lena, not terrible. Gives you more tower push, gives you a way to fight into the Medusa. The Mars sucks to play against, but it beats Quap both in lane as well as for sustained damage later on. I think it's fine. You've got plenty of frontliners in the CK and the Grim. And the Razor, rather. Yeah.
Oh, I hate that you were right.
But I'm right about the Tusk. Please don't be. If that says Gacha Boy. I'm sure it's Leaf. I'm sure it's Leaf. Come on. Okay. It is a pos 5 Tusk. I think Patriots have got this.
Okay, so the reason why I don't like the Lena is because I think you have very big issues to start fights on Patriots. You're pretty reliant on... Like, you pick this Grimstroke and you don't have, like, a Spirit or a jumping hero to go in with Inkswell. Your Chaos Knight can kind of fulfill that role, but we see a lot of teams go multiple heroes to really utilize this Ag Shard Inkswell, which I think is one of the best Ag Shards in the game. So that is my concern on Patriots. I feel like their ways to start fights is very difficult. They have to snowball the lanes, and they can do that. They've got 3 really strong laning cores. Like Chaos Knight wins a lot of his lanes. It actually could be pretty interesting to a Mars Rubik. You've got a Razor that we've seen Delul has looked exceptional in every single Razor, and Lina doesn't really lose mid.
I mean, the Grimstroke plus the Razor isn't terrible, right? Just giving him the additional movement speed that he needs to constantly just stay on one of these targets.
Razor
nice.
Nyx, right? Lim's playing Nyx.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like the mid game when
Okay,
you are
okay,
talking about
sorry.
taking these
Yep.
fights and starting out a lot of these engagements. So you can use Nyx for it as well, right? Scout out, use the Vendetta. Yeah, you're kind of screwed if they've got sentries, but as long as your team is close enough by, then you can often get the start that you need. And yeah, the Grimstroke plus the Razor, it's a nice little combo to be able to be that either the first or the second joiner into a lot of these fights. But again, it's another one of these games where you can just build the CK as a bit more like that initiator, right? An early-ish Blink Dagger to allow the mid laner in Mamang Dire's Lina to be the true carry for the game.
Um,
I'm saying Patriots.
Look, I haven't seen a team work out how to deal with Delul's Razor, and he's legitimately bodied every single game we've seen, and not only in this tournament, but we also saw in the DPC. He looked very, very good on the Razor. So that really is the big reason why I might favor Patriots, but I'm not going to. I believe in Motivate. My concern is just I feel like Radiant, their team fight is far superior. I think you have a good carry-to-carry counter into the Chaos Knight, but maybe that counter isn't as strong just because of the Razor potential to be able to drain away the Medusa's damage, then giving Jikroy a decent time to play, but I still think it goes back.
Do you even think that is the carry-to-carry? I know, like, it's the position 1 against the position 1, but I'm still on the board of Patriots carry is Mamang Dire. So how do you feel about that carry-to-carry matchup, Lina against the Medusa?
Yeah, I think it's Lina favored. I think it's Lina favored. Yeah, I have always been a big fan of Lina, and especially into the Medusa. Oh, Lim! Relax there, brother. Keep getting double stuns like that. Who knows? Maybe Patriots just easily win this game.
Telling you, it's a thick bunch of spikes that you're able to push out now with the Nexus asset. They're even just not going to let him get to lane. They're going to be like, oh, well, waste your TP. Go on.
I think they've done this every time they played the Razor. They just aggressively go to the ward in the jungle and then get a bunch of damage with the static link, and then you stop the enemy team from coming out to the lane. You're going to force them to TP. So I like it again for Patriots, but we'll see how this bottom lane shapes up. It should be a pretty convincing lane. I think my thoughts is Leaf has to play for pulls. Is that how you look at this lane?
I think so, yeah. Even just being able to pull... We've seen a couple of teams, was it Motivate? I don't think it was, that pulled like behind the tier 1 tower and allowed them to farm there, just because Delul really does need to still focus on getting a few of those early levels. You know, maybe once he's level 3, level 4, he can look to actually connect and put some kill pressure on, but until that point, not anywhere near as much.
It's kind of interesting as well. Leaf's gone for a Ring of Protection at the level 1. I mean, I don't hate it. It's going to be a lot of physical damage from the Razor. And he's probably just looking to stand his ground and do that. Try and push back Delul slightly, but it's definitely...
Even just having the tag team level 1 is kind of odd, right? Like, it doesn't really feel like it synergizes at all in this lane. I think you should be looking to prioritize much more just using the ice shards to block off pathways, snowball to be able to stop connections, even just for the brief save for the Medusa, right? And right now, it's only really the Quap and the Tusk that are able to interrupt any of the Razor full-on aggression. Right, with a Walrus Punch going through the BKB, Sonic Wave pushing back a little bit, but you know, beyond that, it really does feel like it's going to be pretty nice for the Razor still.
Well, we do see that Mamang Dire with this favorable lane matchup is already off to a very good start, 11-2 compared to the 6-0. Gacha Boy had a couple of skill points free. And then he went back into the Shadow Strike. He started with Scream, and then he hadn't skilled anything up, had 2 available, and then I was just thinking he was going to avoid the Shadow Strike, because this lane matchup, you don't really get much value out of it. but does go back into it. So going to be interesting to see how much value he truly gets out of it in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, 2 points is the most I would honestly want to put into it, just because you are still such a big portion of the early damage that's going to be coming out from your team. Rubik doesn't do too much early on. Tusk doesn't. Well, Tusk can, but not with these other heroes that he's paired together with. So, yeah, I think a big burden is put onto Gacha Boy, who, by the way, is getting bullied a little bit underneath his tower. Among Diet doing another good job there.
Yeah, that's the thing also. If you step up to try and get the stun, So the Shadow Strike, Mamang Diet just turns around, drops the LSA, and all of a sudden Gacha Boy just drops to a health pool where he's in a bit of trouble. But luckily enough for him, he's got Tangos and a couple bottle sips to play with. But he will not have a bounty rune bottom, as actually Leaf has snagged that one. So going to be playing off the back of the next water runes that will be up in 30 seconds. But how's our last lane looking? What are your thoughts on top?
I mean, have to be a little bit careful here on Jikro. This might be the kill, actually.
UK is going to try and give him some space, but the Ink Spell tick is just too long. The Tigger finds our first blood, but UK's like, doesn't matter. Give me all that solo experience, baby.
Yeah, I mean, he got a little bit unlucky with the Chaos Strikes, wasn't able to get the lifesteal that he needed to be able to sustain himself in the lane, which is unfortunate, but that's the dice that you roll whenever you play this CK, right? I can still see, obviously, he's going into a bit more of the... I mean, it's still the standard build, Power Treads, Armlet, but after that, I really want to see him go that Blink Dagger. He needs to be the real initiator for his team.
This is definitely the only kill lane we really have across the map, as Masteros is in trouble. So a lot of damage with the double stun. The spear holds him back just on the edge as he gets Jikro pinned to the tree. So nicely done. Do they have a sell for him? Rubik?
UK's go on. Oh, for the Mars.
Yeah, well, poor Masteros is kind of struggling in that department.
He's got a salve ready. The courier just needs to get back to base, though.
Back to base. Well, that's a bit too far away.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to
still overall, Patriots, they're pretty satisfied with how things are going, right? Comfortable lead in mid, a little bit of a lead in bot. Top lane, it was a little bit of a mistake, but whatever. Still going to go fine for Jikroy up here.
They're using this time up top to try and make some stacks. Of course, that's going to be lovely for the Medusa. We'll be in a bit of trouble. Snowball's going to hold back Delul, but the stun isn't crazy long. Do they just turn it on Leaf now? Of course, Ring of Protection is always nice. He's got 7 armor on the Tusk when he's out of the tower range, so they're doing pretty well down bottom, but they are not stopping Delul from farming. I think the big thing why Delul has really snowballed all of his offlane Razor games is that they've been getting kills for him. It's not just that he's been getting last hits and farming, but it's also he's just dominating in the aspect of kills as well.
Yeah, for sure. And they're just going to look to try and keep the pressure up here. You can see Lim, they're actually going to get the stun off onto the Medusa. She's a little low, doesn't have the mana shield up, and yeah, she'll go down.
Beautifully done. Just speaking about the kills, is not the Lord doesn't get it, but Lim's the one that's going to be rewarded for that. So 1,000 net worth lead early for Patriots. As you're seeing, all the lanes really shaping up nicely. They got top 3 in regards to the cores on the net worth. It's top lane, they even get another kill. So Masteros, unfortunate timing for him, as they had Tigger trying to rotate mid to try and secure one of the power runes. I mean, they could even kill him among die potentially if it was a good rune with the Sonic Wave. In fact, let's see if they're able to do so. Oh, gotcha, boy. That's a hell of an illusion dodge. Now they send him back into the river, but they'll push him up, and it doesn't matter. As Gotcha Boy, the first Sonic Wave. Oh, there's the extra 80s. Gotcha Boy. Okay. We'll make it out.
Great illusion dodge, though. Like, that's the individual skill that can turn around a tough matchup like this. And look what it means for the net worth. He's actually level with the Lina now. So big plays by Gacha Boy needed to be able to carry the early game for Motivate.Trust. And he's already come in clutch.
You got to scream it. It's in capitals. Come on.
I'm not a member of Patriots, bro.
What? Why? I thought you were apes together. Patriots together.
Are they the apes? Are they the apes?
Papes together.
Papes. Maybe if they were the papes, I could support them. But I was an ape for life, and unfortunately, they are not anymore.
They broke your heart, didn't they? As soon as they joined Patriots. Dude, I was so
the best sprays in the game, man.
Yeah.
Like some of the best voice lines as well. And Oh, such a shame.
Can I see them? Let's
Honestly,
see.
they could still keep the apes together strong. I think it's well worth it.
Look at this. Oh, what can you do, brother? I have some good ones.
Mhm.
Oh, I was so surprised as well. You know, after the games that Apes were playing, especially through the qualifiers for Spring Tour and their early series for DPC, like their following on Twitter was through the roof. I'm like, what's going on? They've got such a huge fan base.
Right, us apes, we're a big family, okay?
Bounty.
Gotcha Boy is actually making the rotation towards bot to try and put some pressure onto Delul here, but he knows his spidey senses are tingling and Sonic
Nice
Wave.
shards. That is beautiful. Delul will end up going down. Gotcha Boy gets himself a kill, and like you said, beautiful rotation. Delul was wary of this, but this is all enabled as actually hold that top lane. Jikroy getting aggressive with UK. They're going to dive under the tower. MG.Trust is able to kill off the Phantom's Embrace. He has his spear back up shortly.
Under attack.
Will not require it though. Jikroy is going to get out of harm's way. They might go back in. They are shoving in the lane, but they don't see a window to do so. So nice TP in from Tigger.
Even might be able to... I mean, they're just going to farm for now. Wouldn't have been the worst to try and get the pull off. Again, get the lane pushed back in their favor. He attempts for the pull afterwards, but just a little bit late on Jikroy. He's never played a support in his life. Doesn't know about the intricacies of stacking camps. As we see another contestant at the wards. And it's just trying to scare him off right now, is Mamong Daya.
Oh yes, well your Lagoon is on cooldown. That is kind of your kill threat really. What else happened in the river? Leaf. Oh, my monk guy's got a haste.
Can't outrun a wild.
Poor old Leaf, not much you can do. Maybe shard block. My monk guy's trying to slip on past, but that is beautiful from Leaf. Really nicely done.
You just see what it does, right? On top side, Mass has been completely bullied out of the lane. He's got a free time up here. I don't think UK needs to be standing nearby as much as this. I think it's just all about making sure that Jikroy has the levels, because CK is one of those heroes that, yeah, sure, items are nice, but a big part of his kill threat comes from those levels that he can get early on.
You could actually hold that. Gotcha Boy once again down bottom. This time they've got the Sonic Wave. The Lul's gonna try and turn it, but Leaf gets some extra room for Gotcha Boy to get out of harm's way. As Lim's trying to come down, I don't think the Nyx Assassin has got the damage, so unfortunately for them, that's going to be another death on Delul. He's up to 2 now.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Silver linings, Lim is able to get a lot of that solo experience. It'll bring him up to level 5. He hasn't got the point in the mana burn just yet, relying on the rest of his team, of course, to be the ones dealing with the Medusa. But I want to see him, yeah, there we go, level 5. He puts 1 point in, just to be ready for these upcoming team fights.
Yeah, honestly, the levels are pretty important when you're a Nyx Assassin versus a Medusa. If you can get that level 15 talent before like a BKB, then the mana burns, it's a lot. It is a lot. You are going to take away a ridiculous amount of effective health that the Medusa does have, but we see KMP is over towards the triangle, taking a huge stack at the heart, and MG.Trust is also soaking up the experience. So he has now level 6. They do see him, unfortunately.
Diving Leaf, the man just with the magic stick and the ring of protection still, 10 minutes into the game. And, well, that death is going to make that even more certain.
Okay, the one thing we actually haven't really spoken about too much is how much value Tigger's going to get out of this game. And he's had a very, very good early game. I've been impressed with Tigger and what he's done. You know, we saw step in top a little bit to offer some protection for MG.Trust. He's made a lot of stacks in the jungle for KMP, which is always important for the Dooster. And he's 2-0. So KDA is looking good, but there are some really good abilities to steal. Dragon Slave, Stroke of, honestly, all of Grimstroke's toolkit. Impale is great. You've got a stun from Chaos Knight. So if Tigger gets farmed, like, he can actually have a pretty decent game that could turn the tide.
Seeing another rotation down towards the bottom side from Gotcha Boy. 12 seconds away from that ultimate. The Lil gets a sense. He's every single time he seems to know that it's coming. Even just using the scan to see if they might have been coming through the river. But yeah, good positioning from Lim to prevent that.
Lim. Okay.
But yeah, he did the thing that he needed to do, right? Scouted out the smoke. Means that Gotcha Boy doesn't get another core. Very important to make sure that Delul doesn't snowball with you early. I agree that there are some okay spells to steal. I know I sound like a bit of a shard enjoyer, but this is an amazing game for Rubik to be able to have that shard, right? Just to be able to remove the link, for example, to dodge a light strike array, just simple things like that, right? It's just going to be so impactful.
Yeah. 100% in agreement. I think it... Especially because the static link is the way to deal with the Medusa. I know we kind of spoke about the carry-to-carry matchup in regards to like the Chaos Knight with the Dusop and kind of that the Lina is the true carry, but still a lot of the damage as the game goes on is going to be on the Medusa. Like the damage from the Tusk is not going to be impactful. Mars doesn't have a lot of damage mid lane. Tigger with a stolen by Carapace. What a beautiful way to set up, but it doesn't matter as they turn it around. Double Laguna Blade and they TP out on the Lina. So she'll survive the attempt, but Radiant, they still have a possibility to turn this around as Leaf enters the fight, gets one kill. So in the end, a 1-for-1, but that is huge. That's a first death onto Garchaboy, and man, that was just some individual brilliance from both sides.
And you know what that is? That's the infused raindrops, baby, that completely saved that. Buy this item. It is way too good to not do it. Bro, it made the leader live. It made him get the turnaround kill. What are you groaning about?
Sure it wasn't the null stats?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Bro, you could say it was. The, what,
I
two
could,
strength?
but then I would be lying. And I would never lie to you, and I would never lie to chat.
Dude. He's lying now. You guys, we know Danog. This dude is... I don't know.
Notorious liar.
Yep, 100%. Honestly, I'm a bit disgusted by you sometimes.
Mm-hmm. You wouldn't be the first. We've got Delul. He was
Why
starting
would
to
you
make the
say
TP.
that?
I don't know. He was looking to make the TP down to mid, but he just stayed on the bottom side. They're going to find Leaf again. At least he's got the boots this time, but I was about to say I don't know if it'll get him to safety. He unfortunately doesn't have a Tango or a Quelling Blade to be able to chop through.
Masters has got Arena. They're going to be cautious how deep they go, but a beautiful silence going to prevent that for the moment. They want to target down the Mars before he gets the ultimate off, and they will do so. Patriots, they got to get out there, and Jikroy, telekinesis back under the tower with the Sonic Wave on cooldown. They might be lacking the damage. Jikroy with the armor tokens, they actually turn it. Phantasm with one more swipe, and now they're in. Oh, the Soulbind combo sets up for Limbs. Double Impale. The Soulbind's doing everything for the last couple of minutes for the lads on Patriots, but it doesn't matter. The armor toggles were not on point, as now Garchaboy, he's got the Sonic Wave up in 5 seconds, so he can definitely kill off UK. He's a bit hesitant
Go for the snipe.
until he sees a window. Ooh, don't go on the tree line. It's scary. The woods are not your friend. The Law's here too. Blinks up on Garchaboy, you'll be alright.
I was about to say, did he have mana to be even able to make the blink away, but just has enough. It's full of action. It's what we love to see.
This game's kind of pog. Is there a better emote than pog? Is there a better word? You have these friends that don't know Twitch emotes and you say pog around them. Dude, what the hell are you talking
No, I'm
about?
a adjusted human being, so I don't do that.
What?
A well-adjusted human being.
Well-adjusted.
I say that as I'm sure plenty of people in chat have seen me at like 4 a.m. Australia time watching some European Dota like day after day after day.
Yeah, you can be on some... Well, DJ hours is how I want to put it. I don't know if I want to kind of... But you can be.
To throw the rest of chat under the bus.
No. The rest of chat are not. I'm just specifically speaking about you.
I see.
UK? Unfortunately that he gets his Observer Ward snipe. Dude, Patriots have started to accumulate a bit of a lead. Up to 3,000 now.
I mean, Lina hasn't been showing up at a bunch of these recent ones, right? She's just like, look, again, I just need to remember, I am not the tempo maker. I am the one that is going to carry this game against the Medusa. So BKB finished up by the Lina. As soon as she gets the boots of travel, that's when she's actually going to look to make a lot of these moves.
Gonna start the fight. Deluz into the middle, and Garchaboy, he blinked in. Oh, and now with the Soulbind once again, but Masrot's gonna show up to the party. It's a beautiful arena with the combo burst. It'll get rid of the life of Razor, and Garchaboy's out. Blinks into the river. So the Queen of Pain will make it away, but Mamong dies, looking to turn the tide, trying to step into the fight, looking to cut away the life of one, and now Jikroy will find a second. So in the end, a 2 for 2, but Motivate, they don't lose any cores, as Mastros, beautiful timing on the spear.
Gets him away. I mean, that gets the boots of travel up, though, from Among Daya, right? Like, he didn't have to pop the BKB. He wasn't there at the start of that engagement. Obviously, would have been very different if he was. So now, lane's just going to continuously be pushed out. They've got more towers to play around as well. And, you know, this is particularly important when you've got a Medusa, right? The fact that they've already taken mid tower means that that area is much more vulnerable to these sorts of rotations. It wouldn't surprise me to see them go for a smoke pretty shortly.
Money to burn.
It looked like
Dire's
they're
top
comping up for
tower
one.
is under attack.
Yeah, UK's got a smoke. He's got the Ag shot as well completed on the Grimstroke with maxed out Ink Swell. See how they're able to play with that. Nyx Assassin's also getting a decent amount of levels. All the supports currently at the level 9, so there is a bit of a gold lead for Patriots, but the experience is relatively even.
Yeah, I mean, it needs to be... Lena's had her time in the sun. She's farmed up. She might just want to get some of these tier 2 items. I mean, I couldn't think of much of a better one as the Brigand's Blade for Lena, just considering how often you're going to be attacking. But she needs to be the one taking the onus on being the next ones to teamfight. Like, they're going for a smoke here with Delul. I would have much rather them just letting him sit back and get that BKB, because he's just so much stronger if he's got that up and online. I feel like he might just end up feeding his life away in this next fight.
If they
Just against the
do...
Mars, right? Like, that's the only thing stopping him right now is the arena. And if you could just
Oh, no.
leash up literally anyone.
So what doesn't see them at the moment, right? If they have their own ward on the high ground, and again, Dire...
Gotcha boy, though.
Yeah. The Soulbind is really what you're looking for on Patriots. Like, that has been the big X factor for them to be able to turn these past couple of fights.
It's around the river.
What's up with Mamung Dai? Blaw's waiting in the tree line, but I don't know if Radiant can take this fight. Oh, Mamung Dai's got a double damage rune. That should be Roche.
Either Storm, why not? You don't have team fight outside of this Mars, and he doesn't have a Blink Dagger. He's gone first item BKB. Looking to try and commit with a Tusk, but I just don't know if you can.
You got Arena and Sonic Wave. How do you step in, though? Look at Lim's positioning.
Charge it too.
Oh, they gotta go in. Roche is down, so they get the Aegis. And it's not the greatest arena as well. Sonic Wave's gonna try and clip the backline, but yeah, now with ultimates expended, they gotta get out. But Lim, he's stunned up Mastros. Mini blink. Wait, Gotcha Boy!
Oh, okay.
They've got their double damage rune, but Mamung Dai doesn't have any stacks. Oh no, he was well and truly dead if he had some fiery soul stacks. Patriots, though, still pivoting over to the rest of the side. Leaf, as shards will not do anything as a reality riff. Well, telekinesis, that will be enough to get them out of harm's way.
Still, though, it's just a free rush. Probably shouldn't have ended up happening. A BKB charge used on your Queen of Pain. Probably didn't need to have that either, so it really does feel like they're going to be playing on the back foot for the next little while, although I say that in true Motivate style. They're like, it doesn't matter, we're down the Aegis, we're down ultimates. Let's
Do they
just
have
go
damage?
and catch them off guard.
2800 health. We'll see. They've got the Ag shot as well, so Jikro's just gonna turn it back around. Yeah, right. As soon as you give him the Inkswell, man, he's just... You're not gonna kill him.
I mean, he's got the Slange as well, right? To buff it up even further, so why not?
That was a ambitious attempt. Ooh, Philosopher's Stone. Can you tell me why people call it...
The Philly.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
You say people, it's Lacoste. It's Lacoste that does it.
No, I've heard other people do it as well.
Dire's middle
I
tower
have,
is
and I'm
under
like,
attack.
guys, there's an O. Philo. Let's go Philo, man. But Philo sounds atrocious. I understand
Right.
that.
That might just be an Australian bias, though. You know, we say, you know, Smoko, Damo, Robbo.
But there's an O. Where's the I? Philly. There's no... Where is it?
It's just adding an E onto something. It's not that serious.
Dire's
You
top
sure?
tower is under attack.
I know.
Grammar police Aries.
Do I sound pretty serious? I'm pretty serious about it.
Is under attack.
Man, Mamung Dai is still just super capable of pushing on his own down here. I'm sure he's saying, "Oi, these are my
Dire's
creeps.
top
I need the
tower
fiery
is
soul
under
stacks.
attack.
Don't want it to be another situation where I'm not able to secure the
Radiant's
kill."
bottom tower is under attack.
They are... I was about to
Radiant
say they're not
structures
glyphing, but
are fortified.
finally they do.
Dire's
Yo,
top tower is under
Leaf.
attack.
Oh, lucky is he with the stun timer? 4 seconds! Oh no. Yeah, give him a high five as well for good measure. And a voice line. Great. 5, 2, and 1. They get the tier 2 tower. And they still have 2 minutes left on the Aegis to get some map control. Oh, look at mid lane. Lim. Stalking Masaros. He can BKB TP out. Nice reaction with the BKB. He's actually going to look to turn it. I don't think they're going to have enough damage. So Masaros... That's arena used as well, so this should now really open the tier 2 mid up.
Yeah, big Massey just being able to escape the gank there.
Big what?
Massey. Just your love for the
oh,
E
no!
Burns, doesn't it?
The words are going to jump it up. It's okay. We're chill. So is Queen of Pain's life. Second death for her now. Bit unfortunate here. I kind of see that net worth is really starting to tail off for Gacha Boy.
It's approaching the point where Dusa needs to do something,
Radiant's
right?
middle
Like she
tower
is
is under
0, 1, and
attack.
0 so far. Hasn't been involved in any kills up to this stage. She just wants her level 20. I mean, this is a game where it's actually really good to get the Stone Gaze duration, particularly against the Razor. Nullifies his impact heavily. Same sort of thing with the CK in team fights. But it's going to be wait for Aegis to time out, get your Skadi, get your level 20, and if Motivate aren't able to make something happen out of that upcoming engagement, then I'm struggling to see a way that they're going to be able to come back into this game.
They are grouping up like they want to smoke. They are very close to 3 Blink Daggers. And smoking into the Aegis still is a bit awkward, even though it's going to tick out surely.
I mean, I know Rubik's gone for it, but he needs a shard, right? I'm not wrong, am I?
Oh no, I'm in agreement. I think the shard's very good this game. Does it breaks the leash, right?
Why wouldn't it?
Yeah,
If it just gives you enough range.
Yeah, I'm also in agreement. I think the shard is very good. If you're going double blinks, I guess the Tusk Blink is really for save. It's not initiation, but...
And Mars is going into one soon as well, so he's going to be your initiation. So I feel like you don't really need to rely on the... I understand wanting a blink lift onto a priority target, but I feel like your counter initiation is going to be solid enough once you get these blink daggers on the Mars and the Tusk. And even just, you know, the 20 plus Skadi timing on KMB.
So I do think one of the things that when... Well, hold that thought, is they're going to smoke. I think we will have a fight. Is Radiant. They're grouped up at the moment by their jungler. Well, Patriots are pathing away down bottom.
Might run into them before they hit these timings. Got a BKB of their own on the Razor. Not with him yet. It's coming out on the Courier right now.
Oh, they're going to reveal their positioning. They know exactly where Tigger is, and Lim's going to jump into the middle. Snowball's going to buy them a little bit of time. Let's see if the Medusa can turn this around, but Delul now on top of the Medusa, so KMP won't have damage for the fight. Motivate, they need to get out. In fact, Masaros is standing his ground inside the arena, and he doesn't have the damage in the tank to really turn it back around. So a 1 for 2 with a buyback onto Tigger, and they even see Leaf as well escaping to the south. A TPO, woo, and he makes it. Wow.
Able to get there. They've also got a D-Ward of this area. It's a really nice place for Dire to be able to just set themselves up, right? Especially when they're in this situation where you've reclaimed the...
Oh, gotcha, boy. Don't do it. You're about to run into sentries. Oh, they put him out of sentry. Oh, Memang Dai's hunting. He's got BKB. Well, can they get the LSA stun? He's going to see Delor TPing him. Oh, he doesn't blink away. No BKB, so gotcha, boy. Just gets cleaned up as Memang Dai is able to connect thanks to the Silver's Edge.
Oh, and that just pushes them all further back from... Like, that was a buyback on Tigger. So he was saving up for a Blink Dagger. He's not going to have it. Like, he needs the shard, man. He absolutely needs it. You know that they're going to be running at you. They know that they expended a lot of your cooldowns, and they know that they were very close to the Medusa actually having a pretty significant impact. Yeah, he's a little crazy right now.
They're tickling him. Like, they have no damage on Deuce. So Skadi, yeah, I don't hate the item. It's very good versus the sustain on the Chaos Knight. Versus the range. Yeah, 100%. But it's like you don't have damage right now. Oh, you're forced to defensive BKB up. So it was slight victory on really just giving you breathing room so KMP can farm.
Well, you got 2 blinks now. Tusk, Mars, they got him. You're not facing up into Aegis. Just buy the shard, Tigger. I really want him to see to have the shard, just so that you're at your peak fighting effectiveness right now. Because you're not going to get a better time. Like, maybe Dusa wants the Hurricane Bike, but she's 200 gold away, right? Just so something else to be able to stop the static link.
Regeneration.
But you gotta go. You're not going to get a better time.
A minor thing is that they gave the Philo stone over to UK, so he is very close to the scepter, which is pretty decent. Dark Portrait target in the Medusa. Oh, they might kill him. MG.Trust is considering oh, with Arena on cooldown, they could fight now. But Mongdai is going to try and move to the back lane. They already know they'll kill off the Mars with ease. Was almost got Gotcha Boy. Not going to be able to catch him out. They do have this observer by this small camp, so they see Leaf escaping, and Delaw's actually going to jump over the Roche pit onto Tigger. A BKB, but they're not going to have the stuns nor the damage, so Tigger, nice read.
They will have Roche, though.
Bottom lane. Whoa. Nice blink from Gotcha Boy.
Roche is up. Lim scouted it out. They do have an observer one up here from Tigger still. And no detection at this stage. Does the Grimstroke have some? No, he doesn't. Looking to opt into the Aghanim Scepter. So, of course, going to be incredibly effective. But they know Roche is going on. You've got Mars. Doesn't have Arena, though. And they just take this so damn quickly.
Pew, 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 pew. Aegis shard. Probably give the shard over to Jacroy.
Yep.
Never go out.
And again, Lena's the one that's going to be doing the majority of the tower sieging. She's even, I believe, got a Satanic finished up once she finishes up this next camp. So things looking good for Patriots.
So I'm reaching, but I do think Radiant have relatively decent high ground defense. I think, thank you. I think the Medusa is very strong in that category. The Fade Bolt is always a big issue to deal with. And the spear. Oh, wait, what's going on top?
Oh, they will get away.
Yeah, and the spear. If you're able to pin someone up to the tree, the
He's hunting
is
with
gonna.
his
Oh, they saw him.
You okay?
Gotcha Boy sees the Inkswell tendrils now. The rest of the team is slow to connect. Gotcha Boy will BKB TP out, and he will escape, but of course costing the BKB timer, and now Dire instantly trying to get something out of the map. You see they TP bot, and the rest of the side are moving to occupy Radiant side. Don't do it, Tigger. Don't do it.
I think late game is...
Hang on. Chaos Knight's got no one behind him. Lim's going to try and offer some assistance. It's a great arena, making sure there's no more reinforcements. As KP's now going to turn to Lim, but the cavalry has arrived. Dulla's going to try and target down KP, but they didn't steal enough damage. So they might be able to go back in if MG.Trust finds a decent spear. The BKB is soon to expire. They're going to push Mamungdai into the middle, and LSA onto the Tusk. He's got the Satanic as well, but they're controlling the Lena for the moment. There we go, Dulu. Straight away onto the Medusa, zapping away the potential for KP to have any damage in this fight. So it's going to be off the back of everyone else. As Mamungdai looking good at work. They've been killing him off. Mamungdai, BKB stand his ground, no remorse. Finally, they'll get rid of the first life, but at what cost? Round two.
They're even just looking for vision with that that illusion coming through there. Grimstroke, of course, had reached up to the Aghanim Scepter, but I mean, what are you doing that far forward, Jikroy? It felt like they just have this game in a really comfortable position if they're able to take a team fight where every single person is able to join in. Although, Mamungdai is still happy with the outcome. Reaches his level 25, gets the extra attack range, of course, fantastic against the Medusa. And what I was saying before was, if it gets to the super late game, I honestly even think Patriots are kind of okay with it. You know, Mamungdai is going to be able to go into the Skadi. He's going to be able to get some of those tier 4 neutral items, which are going to be very effective for the Lena, just being able to continuously burst down someone like the Medusa there.
Well, KP has the BKB now at least, which is at a kind of the timing you want it, because Nyx is about to get this level 15 talent. Of course, there's always an opportunity for whenever the BKB is not up, that the mana burn, it's only a 5-second cooldown, so you can really spam this out multiple times in fights.
Yeah. Sometimes they've been connecting onto 2 heroes as well with the soulbind from that. That team fight could have gone even more disastrous for Motivate.Trust, actually, because it was the extra 2-second stone gaze duration that caught out Mamang Dyer, actually. He actually was turned into stone for the very beginning of it, so might have been able to get an earlier pick-off than he even did just then.
Net worth lead, though, continuing to grow for Patriots. 17,000 now. And it's not going to be an easy game. I mean, KMP, it will get to a stage where I think Rapier has to be a decision. I know it's a bit early on right now, but with, I think, the status quo of this game, it doesn't look like it's going to get much easier.
Yeah. Even just Jikroy, I like the item Overwhelming Blink as the next one for him, right? Just makes the illusion so much tankier, gives you that ability to blink in and prevent the blink away from the enemy team. KMP's setting up on, I wouldn't even call this high ground, but it's the only place outside of the base that Motivate.Trust are feeling comfortable playing in right now. They will see the fact that Chaos Knight has moved away, so I wonder if that'll indicate that Motivate.Trust are confident to go for a smoke or an attempt.
Onto the Razor. If they can get rid of Dalul, it will enable KMP without having to worry about the static link, but okay. Instant Impale, locking MG.Trust into place so we couldn't get the arena out, and well, now they're under siege.
Yeah, they've still got that Dark Portrait illusion there. It's going to use it to farm, of course. Tigger's like, I've made enough space for you guys.
Yo, gotcha, boy. That's all Scotty. Okay, that's a big win.
Okay. Let's take that one away from the Lina. So, yeah, switches back the Null Talisman. He's like, well, Null Talisman's still pretty busted. It'll do.
Let's go, Null.
And looks like the creep wave will still survive, so Mamang Dai are going to look to at least remove the last outer tower that remains on the map.
They're going to try and fight on Patriots. Oh, nice blink reactions.
You've hit 25 on the
lane. Yo, Gotcha Boy doesn't get much distance. He's going to run into the illusion shortly. Jikroy's going to see him. Gotcha Boy has to pop the beak at B. TP out. Jikroy's hunting, but he will not get the kill.
Yeah, he had the Reality Rift Pierce's spell immunity, so would have still had that minus armor, but yeah, just not enough. Didn't get the full opportunity to continuously right-click. And a sheep stick coming out here from Dalul. Don't hate it. I mean, if you're going to look to commit, as we have on Masaros, I feel like there have been a number of times where he hasn't either got the arena or the BKB off. We know how effective.
They're charging up the high ground. Perfect positioning from Lim. Tanks the smoke, but the backline, MG.Trust going to jump, controlling two, but there's no follow-up inside the arena. As MG.Trust, it's a good ultimate. KMP's a little bit too late, but now with Gotcha Boy as well, Dula's going to try and TP out of the cover of the BKB, and he won't make it. Okay, nicely done. Jikroy, though, he's paired with Mamang Dyer. They still have the Stone Gaze to hold them back, needs to get in front of Jikroy. He's been able to do so, pushing back the Chaos Knight. Now with the telekinesis, they're in trouble on Jikroy. Mamang Dai's done it before. He was able to turn the previous fight, but I don't think he can 4v1.
He's just trying to cancel the Blink Dagger on Masaros.
They got the Scotty slow. They got the Scotty slow. Now with the follow-up stun, he's too greedy. He didn't pop BKB. He didn't pop the BKB. His Motivate pounce on the opportunity. 5 down. What a fight from Motivate.
You were talking about that high ground, and they were just fighting around the only high ground that they had left remaining. Even the Observer Ward that they had placed down previously wasn't completely scouting out. And Masaros, it was a very sacrificial role that he played, right? Jumping in onto the backlines, making sure that there was no save potential for the Nyx Assassin. Wasn't even able to get the single mana burn off before he was brought down 100-0. And I mean, this is a level 26 Medusa. She is pretty scary.
Wow. Wow. Who would have thought they'd get high ground first? Oh, Dota, what a game. Alright. Probably a full set. Well, yeah, will be a full set of barracks. Are they going to fight?
I don't think you can. This is
They're going to try.
very, very risky.
Let's see. Dalul's in with the Dark Portrait. It's a decent arena, but the menace drained out. Dalul's doing a lot of damage, continuing to zap away the life of KMP, and they can do it. They hold the high ground. MG.Trust will join the Deucer in the afterlife. And Dalul's on the hunt. He's on the prowl, but won't run into anyone in the nighttime. It's beautifully done. Who had the damage there?
It was the Dark Portrait. It was the Dark Portrait.
Yeah,
it
that's
doesn't
why it's
actually
not showing,
show up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that was almost entirely Dark Portrait damage that they were able to get through there. And something that I honestly wasn't accounting for either.
Well,
we're back to them pushing.
Fortunately for Patriots, Roshan is not up for another 2 minutes 20, so they won't be able to get that objective.
I mean, but buyback isn't up on... You know that Mars doesn't have buyback because he just bought back previously, and you might be able to assume that Medusa doesn't.
Don't have Glyph as well on Radiant, so it's not like you can really stall this out easily. Tigger's got Axe. Where did he get the gold for this?
Did he get all those previous kills? I don't think he did.
Radiant's
Still
middle
doesn't have
tower
shard.
is under
Double
attack.
stolen
Goddamn.
ability, Poggers.
What, Dragon Slave and Stun?
Oh, it doesn't matter if he gets killed off.
Radiant's top
Gotcha,
tower
a little bit
is
too late
under
with the silence and snowball save. No, just off the mark. He doesn't have buyback as well. Oh,
There should be 2 lanes.
Got catapult waves.
Radiant's top tower is
Double up
falling.
top, and yeah, you're right. This will be 2. I don't think they get megas. They do push very fast with Among Die, but he's going to be lacking creep shortly.
Radiant's top barracks
Still
is
holding
falling.
on to that Brigand's Blade. I mean, you can just back and assume that Roshan might be up, look to get control around that sort of area. You've really put your stamp on this game now. Just saying, look, you probably can't look to contest up onto this side. Let's play some unorthodox wards. They don't have the gold to be able to go for something like a gem on Motivate's side right now, but this is the sort of thing where it's like, well, you got to play to not lose. Sorry, to win rather than not lose.
The double back. Out.
I think they know.
This, the sneak inside. They're not with KMP. They're not with KMP. He's not going to expect this.
Oh, he blinked the wrong way.
Instant Silver's Edge going to give instant protection. Mastros is in. Once again,
BKB.
if they can kill the Razor before the static link, this is huge. Motivate. Oh, they get the stun as well. But Mongdial. Oh, no. BKB is going to try and stand his ground with a Satanic, but turned to stone for a second time. What a defense is Patriots, just off the mark with the jump. And Roche is up in 30.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a mistake coming through from Dalul there. I know he's great on the Razor, but unfortunately just not opting to pop the BKB was suicide. He got chain stunned, he got caught inside the arena, and he couldn't move anywhere. Even with the Ink Swell or the Ag Shard Dispel wasn't enough to be able to protect him. UK doing his best to try and force these side
Razor's
lanes
gonna
out.
buy
But,
back.
yep, it's gonna force
There's
him.
actually a decent spot for them to fight with the high ground ward, but they don't have Stone Gaze. Again, it's all eyes on Static Link. Jikru's going to be in the river, targeting Masteros down. Meanwhile, Gotcha Boy, they burnt his mana. He just gets enough for a blink off, but 2 heroes just pop like that as Jikru is a menace in the late game.
They're looking to continue the dive on forward here on Dalul. Buyback, they know how important this Roshan is. Not wanting to buy back quite yet on the Lina, though. They know how important that is just for their own high ground defense, but could very easily look to just
Radiant's
get high ground
courier
vision
has
once
been
more.
killed.
This Observer Ward giving complete understanding of the area, but
Dire's bottom tower
who
is
lost the
under
refresher
attack.
there?
It was just the recipe. Masteros didn't have the other components.
Yep.
And buybacks on cooldown as well. The first thing I looked at, I was like, whew, don't want to be buying that out. Ooh, just lost another chorus and a telescope now, which is kind of big. It's
kinda
important.
big.
Yeah, you'll take it, especially attack range for KMP
Dire's
and
bottom tower
keeping
is
That's the
Tigger.
under
part.
attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How low is Roche?
Razor just hit 25. 80 extra attack speed. Goddamn.
Lim's in a good
I wanna
spot to
make
pop
sure.
this. Lim's in a very good spot to pop the smoke. Roche is falling, man. They got to get in, but they need Mastros for the team fight. Let's see how they can start. Again, it's all onto Lul. He's got to get the static link up to KMP.
He's got to not die. He bought back. He needs this Aegis.
Roche is falling. They're going to find him.
got to look.
They're going to find him. The cliff fort straight onto the Razor. That's a dieback.
Is under attack.
Oh, and now Roche, they could arena defensively just to give them Roche, but Mastros is
KMP,
not in the
KMP,
neighborhood, and KMP is going to lose all his mana as Mamung dies on top of the Medusa. The lean is damaged, just rips him apart. Now they can target down Roshan, but the snowball Mastros is in. Mamung dies, snatches the Aegis. Gotcha Boy's going to try and bring him down the once, but it doesn't matter. Without KMP for the damage, Patriots, they can survive this attempt and look to swarm over the lives of Motivate. As Quap's killed off, and KMP, he's got to be cautious. It will not matter though. It's Tigger. That's the one who's in trouble. 4 down on Motivate, and
Look
this.
at Mamung Daya. Look at Mamung Daya. He's trying to stop the retreat from KMP.
He's got vision.
Protection though. Oh, he went for the blind stun.
Oh, you gotta buy back.
You gotta do something, KMP. You gotta stop this push.
Oh, gotta be
Mamung Daya's
cautious.
got Aegis. He's holding onto the Axe Blessing as well on the Lina.
Radiant's
give it to the
middle
Nyx.
tower is under attack.
T4's in shambles. Second one soon to fall. You got to do something. Jikru's actually going to jump before they do so. Stonegaze is out. Actually going to buy them a little bit of time. But
That Dark
KP,
Portrait.
does he have the damage to turn this around? Deals with the Dark Portrait. They're falling low. They're going to turn their attention away. And with the Stonegaze on cooldown, no, they've lost the mana, and that's game. The counter in the Nyx Assassin, just burning all the mana, making the Medusa useless without the BKB is Patriots. That is a huge victory for them. A huge victory over Motivate, now putting them a leap above them. That is just, ooh, what a game. Man, tonight's games are crazy.
Oh, back and forth, back and forth. You think that they've got a way to claw their way back into it off the back of some questionable positioning, but it's not enough. You know, the early lead that they were able to get, some of their comfort picks, and when you play Motivate, you know what you're coming up against. Like you said, they have gone for a few of these different heroes, but teams at this stage know how to pick and play against the Motivate.Trust Medusa.
Yeah, we really saw in the end, it was kind of crazy that it came down to, it was a couple of things. It was the Razor getting jumped at the start. Like if the Lord didn't have a good fight and Radiant and Dusa had Stonegaze, then there was a window of opportunity where if they paired Stonegaze with Arena, they were actually looking relatively decent in fights. Like they could turn fights around. But the issue is that you could just BKB, run out of Arena. Skadi was enough, and that was we've had 3 really, really cracking games tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Little frustrated with Mamang Daya, the fact that he was holding on to the Ag's Blessing at the end there instead of giving it over to his loyal Nyx Assassin. I mean, come on, Nyx Ags is pretty damn good, but still able to carry the game. He was the clear MVP for mine. Of course, it came down to the very last pick of the draft to kind of give you that sort of situation, but he still took the ball and ran with it. Very well-deserved victory for the Patriots.
Yeah, and we kind of spoke about throughout the draft that it's just interesting to see in Dota with how teams prioritize what heroes they like to counter particular heroes in. And we saw for Patriots, they really like this Nyx Assassin to deal with the Medusa. We spoke about it a lot throughout that game, how the level 15 talent is going to be a big concern for KMP's Dusa. You really need to win the fight off the back of the BKB. And if you're unable to do so, then there's big issues. And you called the Lena pick, props to you. Mamang Dai, he popped off. He had an exceptional game. So for Patriots, they now have a game advantage, and this is a big day for them. They have 2 series today. So one against Motivate, and then the last one versus Execration. So some much needed victories for them to be able to stay in the Pro Series. But with how they're looking so far, they are very close to securing at least a spot in the lower bracket. But they're not there just yet. They need to continue with this run, and we'll find out if that momentum will lead into the second game after the break.